Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Sir Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor at the Tenkars Tavern blog. By the way, OSR Christmas is live now at tenkars-tavern.games. So check in pretty much daily or so. We have gifts to give away. 12 days of gifting. Most days, once the gift goes up, or the gifts go up, they'll be available for you to get into the mix or make a comment, usually for about 48 hours. Should run through the beginning of January. A lot of good stuff. So, I'm very partial to this image on the screen. I do image searches all the time, and this one comes up a lot. And why do I like it so much? Because to me, this defines the OSR on so many levels. But we're going to go over some of the things that define the OSR. And let's be honest, we can't even say what OSR stands for. Old school rules, old shit run, old school renaissance, old school revival, old school role playing. What we all kind of have an idea of what the OSR entails, and it's not just a bunch of old angry grognards saying, "Get off my lawn, stop ruining my game." So, this image, though, defines a lot of it. What is one of the strengths of the OSR? Generally speaking, they are rules light systems. Whether you're playing Swords and Wizardry, Osric, basic D&D, they are rules light. Osric is based on 1E. 1E is not really necessarily rules light, although in essence it was. Once you learned the rules and you took out what didn't work, it ran pretty much rules light. But the OSR has taken traditional, original rules and rewritten them often with modern sensibilities and modern word flow and editing. So they are definitely easier to comprehend than their original counterparts. Player skill over character stats. When we say run is written, it doesn't just usually mean the rules, because we tend to house rule everything. Run is written often can also mean run your character even if they have bad stats. Sometimes the bad statted characters are the most fun to play. And when I say bad stats, it usually can be like, Mr. Vanilla. It's got no bonuses. So what makes them special? The play makes your character special. In an OSR game, you don't have feats. You don't have skills. You don't have a Christmas tree worth of magic items that you're trying to plan out and what your end game is. And the OSR character survival is the be all and end all. The essence of old school role playing is in the play. Okay? It's not in the, I got to get my character to 11th level and take all these feats and make sure I do a class at a right point, unless you're playing a bard in 1E, but besides the point, it isn't about the end game. It's about the session. 5E, 3E, Pathfinder, they're all about this goal of hitting whatever, 20th level, the point where your character is optimal and optimized. Well, the optimal OSR character is the character that's in front of you. Did they survive the last session? And then the optimal character class and race and hit points and abilities. Survival is the goal in and of itself. Right? You live to play another session. You live to play another adventure. That is a huge part of the accomplishment. Because with old school gaming, there is an expectation that characters can and will die. It's not like 5e where you get, I don't know, a half dozen saves to make sure you don't die, and we cushion all the walls, and we make sure that healing is huge and everybody's back to full after next to nothing. We don't do that in old school gaming, right? But why is that? Because the goal is in the play. It's not where you end up. It's the joy of the here and now, and I think some people forget that. It's about spending time with your fellow players and with your GM, and watching your character get a little bit better, but most importantly, survive. So, ruling's not rules. I think I mentioned this a little bit in the prior video, but old school games will tend to run much faster than current games. When I say current, 5e, Pathfinder, and the like. And why is that? Because there's less rules knowledge needed, but you need the ability to make rulings. You have to be able to improvise. You have to be able to move on your feet as a DM. That is part of the requirements of being an old school DM with old school rules. The sandbox play is huge, but it isn't the be all and end all. And some people feel like it is. It doesn't fit every group. The dynamics of every group does not fit sandbox play. Some players don't want that much freedom. You got to know your players and how much of a sandbox is going to fit your group. We never called it a sandbox back in my day. And when I say my day, mid 80s to late 90s. We certainly played campaigns, but they were mostly episodic in nature. Sandbox has made much more of an impact in modern old school OSR gaming than I think it had in days past. Not that I didn't run a sandbox, I certainly did. With RuneQuest, ran Pavis and Big Rebel as a sandbox. That was probably back in 86, 87. But I didn't know it was a sandbox. We didn't call it that. I was just running a huge adventure. And now this is the key moment of what is old school gaming. Again, the lethality, the expectation that player characters, not players, we got to make sure we separate the two of them, right? Player characters, the PCs, can die. Encounters are not always going to be balanced. Some are meant to be run away from or avoided. If you can get the treasure from this beholder without killing it, haven't you achieved as much, if not more, than having to kill it? Because if you did it without killing it, you probably did it without risking the lives of your party. Right? The goal wasn't in killing monsters. The goal was in acquiring treasure. And again, that gets forgotten. So not everything is meant to be defeated. Not everything is meant to be acquired. Not everything is meant to be there. There are certainly MacGuffins in old school gaming. That has to be remembered too. All right, folks. Listen, oh my God, I got to step away to jump into some old school gaming tonight. We got a D&D, AD&D 2E session with Joe the Lawyer coming up in a few minutes. So I'll be back tomorrow with a live stream. tenkars-tavern.games for OSR Christmas. We have a bunch of gifts to give away. Thank you. Thank you all. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Tomorrow, Wednesday, a live stream at 8 p.m. We are trying to line some things up to have a really excellent end of the year Talking Crit. So, folks, I'll catch you later. Be good.